Hey, Tony here, hope you're doing great. So in this video, I'm going to teach you how to stop working with bad clients, how to get rid of the tire kickers, the time wasters, the serial non-payers, and also how to create a great first impression with potential clients and get more of them to say yes, more of them to book in jobs, so you've got full pipeline of jobs in front of you. Now, I know this sounds like a lot to do in one video, but the cool thing is here, there's one tool that I'm going to talk to you about today and teach you today that does all of this. Super juicy. So if you want a copy of this tool, it's called the Customer Service Script. Just comment service in the comments here. This is killer. So you can use it yourself, or you can use it your CSRs or your reception or office people or whoever's answering the phone for you to use this. It is an absolute game changer. You may think you answer the phone well. I can guarantee you there's some little tweaks, points of distinction, if you like, that are going to make all the difference. It'll be an absolute game changer. So grab a copy of this template. Just chuck in service in the comments or download it if you're watching later. Now, if you don't have a good process for inquiries, you're going to have some major headaches actually down the track. We're going to talk about that today because this tool sounds like a really simple thing, but actually it has some massive downstream consequences. Like this can affect everything, jobs, getting paid, the whole bunch. So let's jump and have a look. There are some definite frustrations if you don't get this right. If you do not have a good process for dealing with inquiries, you're going to get really frustrated down the track, guaranteed. One of the key frustrations is that you're going to actually miss out on a bunch of jobs. So you're not going to create a great first impression. Maybe you're not going to look as professional as you want to, and maybe you're under the house trying to take a call and you're like, oh, just hang on a minute, I'll try and, can you text me back? That kind of thing might happen. Or maybe if you've got people in the office dealing with stuff, they just go off the reservation. They just do some crazy stuff, answer it in a weird way that you don't want to have happen. It just doesn't look professional, and you miss out on jobs which you otherwise should really be getting if you're doing a good job. So you can definitely miss jobs. This is a sales problem. The next thing is, you can miss out on all the details of the job. So this is super annoying. So maybe there's bits of customer information written on bits of paper and they're scattered all over the office, or if you've got a system, maybe all the details don't actually get entered into the system, so it's difficult to track the job, it's difficult to invoice the job. Maybe you don't get the customer details correct, you don't get email, phone number, address, everything, and you're missing something that you need down the track, and it just creates a whole lot of extra work that if you'd done it right at the first time, would be sweet. I'm sure you've had this happen. And the last one is, basically you get some bad clients. So if you don't have a way of weeding out the bad clients, when they actually ring up and inquire, you're going to be left chasing your tail later on. And there's a bunch of bad stuff that can happen. Not paying, being difficult. Geez, even sometimes the person who rings up doesn't even have authority to get the job done. Maybe they're a tenant in a house and not the landowner as well. So some bad stuff happens. Got to get this right. If you do get it right, this is what you want to have happen. You're definitely going to get more jobs. So you will, you'll create a great first impression. You'll look really professional, and that's important. We want people to feel like when they talk with your business on the phone that it's the right spot. You can help them, and they feel comfortable. So that's important. You don't want them looking anywhere else. So if they actually, ring up or inquire, we just want them to stick. We don't want them to go anywhere else, get any other prices, or inquire with anyone else. It's kind of like if you go to a shop and the person there asks the right questions, makes you feel comfortable, offers some good suggestions, etc. You don't want to go somewhere else. It's a hassle, right? So make sure that it's hassle-free in your setup. You're going to get great clients. So you're going to have a process for actually weeding out what I call the wheat from the chaff, the kind of the muppets, the serial pain in the butt clients. You have a way of qualifying them, so you don't have to actually work with them. That's important. And clean paperwork. So it's going to be a good handover. Like in a relay, you want a good clean baton change. In your business, you want to make sure the inquiry, all the details are there, everything's there, so you can get the job done, you can turn up to the right place, you can get an invoice quickly and payments made, really easily. So all of this happens at the start. You've got to get it right at the start, otherwise it's chasing your tail. So we want really clean paperwork as well. So it's important. Creating a great first impression, making sure you get the details right, getting more people to say yes to your jobs. And that simple process at the start when you get a client, your inquiry process is the key to success here. There are a few things that you want to get right here. And I just want to talk about those. Then what I'm going to jump into and is actually go through how your script might look. Because at the end of the day, we want to build a script that you can use, kind of like, like McDonald's has scripts for selling stuff. We want a script in your business for when people have the phone call that they can use over and over again. So you know things are covered off. That's the key thing here. Make it a process and a system so it's repeatable and we can tweak it and improve it as we go as well. So three key things to think about here, 3 key principles. The first one is, sounds a bit weird, but I call it think upstream. Here's the little secret. Now I reckon most owners of plumbing, electrical and similar service businesses, they don't know what a huge difference getting the inquiry process right can actually make. So most of your client problems, and this is the thing, most of your client problems like non-paying, being difficult to work with, needy, difficult clients, they can actually be avoided by doing a better job. Get in the camera. Doing a better job when you actually take the inquiry. So you actually get rid of those people, or you figure out who they are then, and you just don't work with them. How much better is that than having to actually chase your tail for money and all that sort of stuff? If you think about it another way, if you think about the ambulance at the bottom of the cliff, that's kind of a common saying, right? You're the ambulance at the bottom of the cliff cleaning up all the problems. It's much easier to stop people going over the cliff in the first place. And your inquiry process, or the way you deal with those incoming phone calls, is where you stop people going over the cliff into the difficult client area. So that's important. And every customer interaction starts with an inquiry. So they're all going to go through this. So we basically want to create a filtering system that lets through the good people, but stops the bad ones getting through. And at the same time, it creates a great first impression, and it's a really powerful sales tool as well. So we've got to do this by, basically, we want to ask the right questions. That's all it is. We've got to have a process for asking the right questions. And I'm sure you'll know what some of the right questions are now, and I'm sure you ask some of them, but we want to get them in a format where we get them all together and that we get the team to ask them as well. So if you're having problems downstream, we need to look upstream and stop them turning into problems. And that's what we use this inquiry process for, the customer service script. So the next thing is we want to qualify the client. So this is huge. Basically, we want to bounce her at the door of our business to stop the bad ones coming in and let the good ones in. And that's one of the main reasons for having an inquiry process, is to actually qualify those clients, to make sure that they're the type of people that we actually want to work with. We want to make sure they're good people and that they can pay. And we want to qualify them on their ability to pay, and are they decent human beings? Because then they're going to be good to work with. And that's going to save us all the problems down the track. So think about this inquiry process, not only to get details and book jobs in, which obviously that's all it's about, and make sure you get all the right information to see if you can help the person, but it's also about qualifying them to see if they're the type of client that you actually want to work with. And that's hugely important. Last thing is, hey, like anything in business, we want a process. And so we want processes, and systems are about getting stuff out of your head, getting it down on paper so that your team can follow it. Now, basically here we want a written script with all the important questions and in the right order to ask them. So scripting it out is about making sure that it's all written down and it's covered off every time. So that's whether you use it, if you're a smaller operation, or whether your CSRs, your customer service reps use it, or your office person or a reception person or office manager or whoever you have actually answering the phone. and then we want to make sure that they practice it as well. So it's awesome to have a script, but also it's even more awesome if they practice it and they actually get good at using it and they understand how to use it. We want to even get right down to the process of having some frequently asked questions written down and scripted, because you know there's some questions that people might ask, and if we've got some answers ready for those, your team, they're going to do a great job. They're not going to have to bug you all the time to answer the questions as well. So the cool thing about scripts, and as I said, we've got a copy of the script. You can just write service in the comments or download it now. We want to script it out, and we want a customer service script to make sure that this process is actually repeatable. That's the key thing. Someone else can do it and we can repeat it. Alrighty, so I'm going to go through the script in a minute and how it looks, the blueprint, because I think you'll find that super juicy. So the key thing is we want to make sure that we qualify people, we're creating a great first impression. We don't want poor clients, non-payers, the Muppets getting through. We don't want to do work with them, we want to stop them at the start. And that's where our inquiry process, our customer service script comes in. We want to make sure that we head the problems off before they happen. We've got to qualify them, and we've got to script it and make sure that it's something that everyone can use and that they're trained on it and that it's a repeatable process. So that's the key thing. If you do that, you're on a winner. You're going to get more jobs because you're going to be more professional. You're going to get more better jobs. You're going to get all the right details, and everything after you book them in is way, way easier, and that's what we want. So let's jump in and have a look at how this script works. And you'll need to build one for your own business, but I'll give you the details of what needs to be in it. And I think you'll find it really, really helpful. It's super good. So let's just make this a bit smaller so we can see it. There we go. Happy days. We call it the customer service script, and it's basically a 9-box thing, if you like. There's 9 things that we want to do. And eventually you'll come up with a script, which is, you may not be able to see all that, but you'll have all the details written out. Yours might look a little different. This is one we use with our members, but it's all based on these 9 boxes. So the first thing is obviously the greeting. So we want that to be, warm and, well, is that going to work? It's being naughty, whatever. Let's do this. There we go. That's better. We want the greeting to be warm and friendly. So it's something like, good morning, welcome to XYZ Plumbing. You're speaking with Tony. And we put a little smiley face at the end of it, because if you speak with a smile, it comes off way warmer. So, good morning, welcome to XYZ Plumbing. You're speaking with Tony. So that's how you kick it off. Real simple. The next thing is we want to take control. So when clients ring up and they start talking about stuff, it's really important that we take control of the process straight away to let them know that they're in the right place, that we're professional, and to make sure that we make the call work for us as well. We don't want to be rude here, but we've got to take control. That's super important. Set the agenda, I call it. So this is what you do. Right at the start, you say, hey, just so I can help you the best, can I ask you a couple of quick questions? So you've taken the power back. Perfect. Next part of it is to confirm and gather details. So, hey, like I said, we want a clean handoff. We want to make sure you get all the details up front. A couple of reasons for this. Obviously, we want to make sure that booking the job in, invoicing the job, the address details, all that's important. We get that right. But hey, what happens if we don't get the job? We still want to get this customer's information and their details because, hey, little secret, we can market to them later if we've got their details. So we want to make sure we do that right up front. So you might just say, hey, have we helped you before? And they say yes. So there you go to the, hey, we'll just confirm your details, because you always want to confirm them. Something might have changed. Or if you haven't, then you get all their details that you need. So that's getting the details. Box 4, job details. So basically just say, hey, how can we help you today? And you have a discussion. You can't script all of this. You have a discussion about what they need, what they want, where it is, and then you can actually book the job in. So that's cool. Marketing opportunities, box 5. This is super, super important and juicy. First thing you want to do in the script is have a part where you say, hey, how did you hear about us? So this is how we test our marketing. We figure out what marketing's working and what's not, because if you're spending money on marketing, you want to measure it. If you don't measure it, you'll just waste money. Or even worse, some stuff might be working and you stop doing it because you're not measuring it. So we want to ask, how did you hear about us? And we'll put down how they heard about us. Now, there's other couple of juicy things we can do here. We might say, hey, do you own any other properties? So we can get some information around, maybe they're a landlord, maybe they're a commercial landlord. So, hey, then we can maybe talk to them about our VIP program for multiple property owners. And the other thing, this is cool. We teach all our clients to do an on-site safety inspection, which is basically an upselling process. So you can say, hey, as part of our service, the team will also conduct a free plumbing, electrical, glazing, landscaping, whatever it is, inspection whilst we're on site. So you're just seeding the marketing opportunities that's coming up. So you've got them on the phone, they're going to buy something, they might buy something else as well. So that's an opportunity. Next thing, box 6, qualify and get agreement. So this is enormous. And there's a bunch of little questions we want to ask here to make sure that this person can pay the bill. And we want to get agreement up front about how they're going to pay the bill. That's super, super important. It's going to cause you, if you don't do it, you're going to have a whole lot of hassles down the track. So a few questions in our script that we might want to ask. First one is, hey, do you own the property? So I'm sure if you've done a lot of service work, you'll have a tenant ring up who books the job in. You might go and do the job and they're like, oh, I'm not paying for it. I'm not the landowner. It's like, oh, okay. And the landowner's like, well, I didn't order the job. I'm not paying for it. And you're left, holding the baby. Not good. Also, way we qualify them on ability to pay is basically to talk about the service charge. So we talk about our service fee. We might say, hey, our service fee is $170, including GST or value-added tax, whatever tax you have. This covers getting us to site. First 30 minutes of being on site, doesn't include any materials, and we require payment on completion. Are you okay with that? We're getting agreement. If they say, yeah, no, that's cool. Oh, let me get back to you. You've qualified them out. Or, let me think about that. You've qualified them out. The people you want to work with will say, yeah, that's fine. So that's important. Next you say, hey, you can pay by credit card or you can open an account, pay by internet banking. So you tell them how that works, what works best for you. And this is a really cool little trick you might want to add. Hey, to secure your booking, we require a credit card payment. And you get their credit card details then and there, just like you would at a hotel, right? So we've got qualification, we've got them to agree to our terms. Perfect. Next thing is, some people, they might need a site visit. They might need one of your business development managers or salespeople to go out and actually look at site and have a discussion. So then we have a part in the script which is not going to be used every time, which talks about how that works. So it'll start with something like, hey, the next step is for an on-site meeting with our estimator or salesperson or whatever, and you go through that process. So you script that out as well. Box 8, frequently asked questions. So like I said, create a list of the 6 to 8, maybe 10 most commonly asked questions that your people on the phone get. Have it there so that they can give the answer straight away. Train them on it. It's all written down and scripted, so they don't have to keep asking you the question. Killer. Lastly, box 9 is the close. So we want to finish with a bang. We want to finish with good energy and just reaffirm that they've made a great decision. That's real simple. Great. So John, he'll see you at 3 o'clock on Tuesday the 18th at 1 Smith Street. Hey, is there anything else I can help you with today? No. Hey, no problem. Have a great day. And we're done. And that's it. So we've got the whole process, the whole 9 boxes worked out there. That's what you need to have in your script to actually nail it, to create a great first impression, to qualify the people, to make sure you're working with the right people, no downstream problems as well. This is absolutely killer. It's a game changer if you do this properly. It solves so many problems. So grab a copy of the script. I'd love you to get a copy of the template. You just need to put the word service in the comments. I think you find it massively helpful. So team, we'll finish here. Here's to great customer service and you taking control of it and actually providing a great first impression and getting fantastic clients. Hey, I hope you liked the video. Check out all the other videos in the channel and like and subscribe.